Greetings, and let's look at AUDJPY and New Zealand dollar JPY one more time. Yesterday I shared about these pairs among the 17 pairs which were shared, but today I have decided to single out these two in another video where I'll be going into more details. So beginning with AUDJPY on a 4-hour chart, after zooming out, we can see that we had this strong move to the downside from 109.3 all the way into 91.8, and that was around July 26th, 2024. And since then, we saw buyers step in and make this pullback. The pullback was not as swift as this main move, and I remember talking about this move to the upside. So those of you who are able to buy, you probably got this move into this zone. So since then, we can see that price got stuck in this area and started moving to the downside. We have this trend line, and we can see that later on around November, price was able to break this trend line, and since then it kept bouncing from this trend line, not closing above it. So when we look at this line here, we can see that price reacted here, it reacted 2 times here, and then after breaking, it started retesting, and retesting, but it is not breaking above. So in my opinion, this is an indication of weak buyers. And if you have been to my channel, you know that I don't only base on technical analysis, but I also use mathematics where I get what I call lab conclusions. So in terms of the lab conclusion, it gives us the health, the general health of an asset. And therefore, in my opinion, and according to our figures, this pair together with New Zealand dollar JPY have gone into an overbought zone, and most likely we may get more sellers pushing the downside before the main trend, which is buy, can resume. So for now, we are still in a counter trend, having noted some weaknesses on the side of the buyers. And so we are looking for counter trend trades or to continue selling to the downside until price will probably get stuck in this previous lower low. And if it shows us good signs in this area to buy, then the main trend, which is buying trend, will be resuming. But for now, our focus is on how price will continue to fail in this trend line and below it, and eventually collapse to the downside to come and retest this previous key level. Let's look at the next pair, which is in this video, and that is New Zealand dollar JPY. It also behaves in the same way, just as we saw with Australian dollar Japanese yen. So what we are seeing is this move to the downside after zooming out on the 4-hour chart, and then a correction or a pullback, which is identical to the one of AUDJPY. Again, we have this trend line going up, then we see price breaking it here and closing below it. Since then, price has never closed above this trend line, and it has also not been able to retest it. At least for AUDJPY, we saw that after breaking, price started retesting the trend line, and it is so close to it. But for New Zealand dollar JPY, we can see that after breaking the trend line, price has never retested this trend line again. Instead, it went into a consolidation, showing very weak buyers. And as I said, from our lab, this pair is indicating oversold. It has a very weak buying conclusion, and therefore we are interested in counter trend trades. That means we are looking for selling opportunities. So in my opinion, we may see price continue to struggle in this zone, and eventually it will collapse and give us another move to the downside. And this move is likely going to come into this key level, whereby it will be printing a double bottom, or if it breaks it, then we'll see how it will be moving. But for now, our bias is to the downside, and we are looking at this level, whereby we expect that if price reaches this zone, it is highly possible that we may see buyers stepping in and pushing us upwards again to resume the main trend, which is buying trend. And for now, that's really our focus. But the second option, of course, is if price breaks successfully this zone and continues the downside there, we will have to analyze again. But for now, our bias is to have this move the downside.